Survival games. I don't play much of them, but there's something about starting from absolutely zero, with no weapons, no clothes, no skill, and then rising to the top of the mountain to feel a sense of accomplishment. But if you've just got a PS5 or you've got a PSVR 2, or even if you're still on PS4, then here is 12 survival games that you may want to play on PlayStation. And I could imagine me trying to survive in the wilderness. You listen, I bench, I deadlift. The wilderness wouldn't have a chance.
Stupid stinks. Stay calm. We're all good. You got this.
So in no particular order, let's start with number 12. I love post-apocalyptic zombie games, and with The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, you can experience this in VR 2, which I cannot wait to dive more into my VR 2. In this world of The Walking Dead, you play as a tourist who is immune from this virus, and you can choose to be male or female. It's set in the New Orleans, and an old buddy of yours explains that two factions are attempting to take control of New Orleans, and you have to search for supplies and upgrades for your weapons. What is very cool is that this is over 15 hours for the campaign, and what's cool is that you have a certain amount of time to go about your daily routine until the streets are filled with flipping zombies. So you have to make sure you commit to what you're doing, and like in the other Walking Dead games, I love the fact that there are dialogue choices that will impact the story and the people that live. What makes this survival game so enticing and nerve-wracking is that the stamina is limited, your weapons break, and you will have to carefully choose and swing your freaking arms with force in order to make every swing and shot count.
Oh damn it, Els! Are you okay?
Song in the Smoke looks absolutely amazing. Another VR 2 game. You literally start off with nothing and you have to learn your way to build a camp, explore the areas at a very cautious pace, building fires, making weapons, and at the same time being aware that any damn minute you may come against certain animals that are just gonna flipping eat you alive. Just like Els does sometimes when I don't clear out the house, but I still do it anyway. The goal is to collect these 3 purple stones that will trigger a boss fight, and then you'll be able to move on to the next area. But it looks so intricate and just so much fun. Crafting ammo, you will have to choose and go through the motion yourself, which I love. And it's not just about what you can see. The 3D audio has been praised, as you will need to really listen to hear enemies, animals, and there are a total of 7 maps to explore. The inventory and crafting system looks very well done. The way you open up your cloak and then you can easily see your ammo, weapons, and see the stats of your weapons. And it seems like when you get used to the motion of crafting, this looks addictive. DayZ is a brutal survival game that came out quite a few years ago, but it is still so popular. You start off with nothing and you have to make sure you maintain your health, warmth, water, and explore the world in order to build a base, savage for food and find weapons and armor, and much more. There hasn't been an update for next gen or PS5, which is a bit annoying, but still. My experience, some popping and some screen tearing. It's a shame that there is no news on a next gen upgrade. But it's all about exploration and making sure you don't get killed by zombies and other animals. And this being online, this means you will meet a lot of other players, and yes, some can be friendly, but I wouldn't even bother. You have to deal with the dynamic weather change, and there is even vehicles, as the map is absolutely huge. Cutting down trees, base building, and much more. And you can play this in first or third person, but this just makes me think whatever Ben's studio are working on, it just makes me want an online Days Gone universe where you can build your own base if they're going through the live service route, which they are, which is a bit annoying, even though they have stated that they're getting a bit frustrated with the community always going on about Days Gone 2, and it makes you think, why? You've got a fan base there. It just makes it's like ridiculous that you're complaining that people love your game. Now, if you love the underwater world, Subnautica will be for you. You are the lone survivor of the crashed spacecraft known as the Aurora, as you are stranded on an ocean planet known as 4546b. You will need to explore this vast ocean world and the dangers that come with it in order to progress. This is borderline a horror game, as some of the predators you will meet and engage with will be nerve-wracking.
Jesus Christ.
It's all about being silent, distracting against the bigger sea monsters that you cannot take on. You have a crafting system, and what you gather from the world and the seabed, you will be able to upgrade your arsenal. The visuals look incredible, and even for a game that came out a while ago, it looks impressive. And also the sound effects of this game have been praised. Medieval Dynasty is a first-person survival game, and instead of a massive deep story, this is all about building your own town, providing care for your villagers, as well as your wife and child. And in this one, there seems to be a lot of things to do in this survival game. You start off with gathering resources, hunting animals for food, leaving traps, planting seeds, and much more. This will develop your survival technology in order to make better gear, and then you can get your villagers to do the tasks for you, so it becomes a lot easier. So when you catch meat and then you deliver it to your kitchen, and when you expand your village, you can then get the villagers to work for you. You can build houses, and it is so detailed by chopping down trees, breaking down the wood, transporting the wood, then actually building and finding stone and making your base sturdy. And then once you do all this, you will then be able to pass the responsibility on. That's quite impressive. And you can even do this with co-op with up to 4 players. And what is cool is that every player will have their own skill tree, so you won't lose any progress, and you will be able to work together but also work on your own. What you achieve, everyone does, so you're not missing out. The combat isn't the greatest because this is more of a simulating game. This is all about working together, which me and Els are so good. Isn't that right?
Yeah, we make a good team.
Exactly.
No, I'm not doing it. That's against the rules.
No,
No,
why'd you do that for?
because you can do this. Nah, man, you didn't sprint. You need to sprint.
Why? I jumped! I did jump! I did!
Green Hell is set in the Amazon rainforest and looks absolutely beautiful. You play as Jake Higgins, and after a long journey to get here, you and your wife are studying the Yabuhoka tribe. And not giving any spoilers, he writes a book about what he has learned, and they come back for a second time. What is crazy is that as well as taking care of your health and making sure you survive, you have to make sure you stay mentally strong, because you can go mad in this game. Make it all right. A lot of people think I'm mental. Well, you know, what is normal nowadays? But your sanity is a big factor in this game. You can nearly eat everything in this game. Doesn't mean you should, because, you know, you want to get those gains, I get that, but still, yeah, that could probably make you sick. But more or less, you have to eat these things in order to know whether it's actually good for you. But in one way or another, you'll be able to use these ingredients that you find. It's much more grounded in terms of weapons, as you'll be able to craft weapons like axes, blades, spears, and much more. The game has a single player story to it. You can also play in a survival mode where you can play with up to 4 players co-op. Bit weird with even the co-op that there's not like just a massive online, but still. You also have challenges where it requires you to complete challenges in the set amount of days where you have to survive as long as possible. In number 6, the forest drops you into a mysterious forest as you are the lone survivor of an aeroplane accident. And as you lose your son, your goal is to find him. But on this island is some very weird human cannibals that want to kill you, and you need to piece together what is going on in this forest. There are multiple endings to the game, but between following the story and trying to look for your son, you will chop down, collect, and build your base. And as you start finding hidden caves, you will start to realize there is a lot more going on, where you start to find these cannibals and mutants. You will take notes in your diary about all of your findings to start piecing together what you think. And you can even play through just the story in around 20 hours without actually focusing on the survival aspect of the game. Makes no sense really. If you don't like survival games, you wouldn't really play this, but still, you can get away with doing minimal. But some of the bases you can build look quite incredible and very creative. And the AI is actually quite clever in the game, because you'll start to see these cannibals hunting you, but they don't just come and attack you. They kind of lurk back, they follow, and they can even send other things after you. It's quite nerve-wracking, as opposed to in other games you just see someone or a monster or something or an animal and all of a sudden they attack you. This is a bit more nerve-wracking, a bit worrying, isn't it, when someone's just lurking behind you, or, you know what I mean, you don't even notice.
Looking over there, these games. Such a child.
You have Skyrim, the Anniversary Edition, which now has faster reload times and enhanced visuals, 60 FPS, a new survival mode, which basically just turns off fast travel, which a lot of people praise. Even though this came out years ago, I still hear so many people raving on about Skyrim. I know I have never played Skyrim, but one of my mates goes on and on about Skyrim. He's got hundreds of hours into this game. You can actually get this one on PS Plus. I think I'm on Extra. I think that's the one. And I actually downloaded it the other day just to make sure it's in my library. You might want to check this out. I'm sure most of you have played this game. How good is Skyrim, especially the Anniversary Edition? Drop your thoughts in the comments. In number 4, we have Pacific Drive, and I still haven't played this damn game, even though I bought it because, you know, time. This is all about surviving with your car. This indie game is really impressive and looks quite hard, to be honest. It takes place in North America, and you have to try and escape the Olympic exclusion zone. It's an inhabitable place with supernatural things that are going on. And with your car, you will need to trust yourself and drive into the exclusion zone and explore and gather resources, and then upgrade every aspect of your car. Engine, the windows, the durability, and there is a lot of detail to this. Once you've done this, it's all about getting to your car and back to the garage. And with these supernatural things going on, they will actually ruin your car. Your car will even play up in this game, a bit like Elsa's driving. My gosh, literally, and I'm not even lying for the video. Her driving is atrocious. I don't get why girls don't like the truth. The menus look quite confusing, so it looks like it's going to take a bit of time to get used to. But when upgrading and modifying your car, when the action starts, that is where you got to drive. And make sure your girlfriend's not driving too. Ark Survival came out quite a while back, and even though there hasn't been a PS5 upgrade, a survival game in a world full of dinosaurs is quite intriguing if you love dinosaurs and that. You can play with up to 64 players online, and you start off by being thrown into an island. You have to keep alive, and early on you build spears and weapons to fight back against these smaller dinosaurs. You can eventually build up your base, and just make sure you pick wisely. You want to try and hide these as much as you can, first of all from dinosaur attacks, but also, again, other players. Don't want to spend too much time offline, because if you come back on and you find your base has been demolished and everything's been stolen, then it's a bit upsetting. Again, that's what would piss me off. I'd be like, listen, I was at work. I was out flipping work and you destroyed my base. And as well as following the campaign, there are some big bosses to fight up against. You can even fly on dinosaurs to get around the map. Now, I mentioned Metro Exodus a while back, and what a game this is. And at first I didn't think it was like a survival game, but it is. And in this post-apocalyptic world, the story is flipping great as you play as Artyom, and you and your wife and your fellow comrades take the risk and leave your home, which is underground, and decide to make a trip across Moscow to find and seek help. This is a first-person shooter, and this was one of the hardest games I've played just because you don't get a lot of ammo or supplies. You have to think very carefully about how much ammo you use, trying to hold back on using the guns as much as possible. You have to be very strategic. I love the semi-open world areas in this game because this gives you a chance to just literally explore and just take the chance and hope that you find some stuff, some supplies. The graphics are so detailed and jaw-dropping, and there is a lot of variety from the close corridors and underground areas, which, my gosh, do make you jump with some of these enemies. Then also the more open world areas, which I love because, like I just said, you have much more time to just explore. And when you do find enough ammo, I just remember it just being an accomplishment. I was like, oh my god, I've got an extra 10 bullets. You don't understand how much that's going to help. And what else is coming soon is Metro Awakening for VR2, which I am super stoked for this. To experience this in VR2, I'm excited to see what this gameplay is like. You can tell this is going to be so immersive. Set in 2028, you play as Serdar, a doctor searching for his wife, and he will venture deeper into the metro to find her. Because this is a story-driven first-person adventure, while focused on stealth and combat. Now, it's not like your traditional survival game, but if it's anything like Metro Exodus, hazardous, which it will be, you have to be careful and think about what you do and just using the controllers of the VR2. I'm loving the VR2 at the minute. Once a week, we'll be doing a VR2 stream. Starting off with Madison. Should I say continuing? Now in number 1, I also have this on my backlog, which I bought about a year ago, probably longer, is No Man's Sky. Cannot wait to play this game. Again, there's a VR2 option as well, which I will definitely be playing that. This has been praised to be one of the best space games ever. As much as it was bad at launch, they have delivered on all fronts. You are a lone explorer and you have to repair your ship, and you have to explore and upgrade and craft in order to reach the center of the universe. It is crazy how there is an unlimited number of planets to visit, which is mind-blowing. They will feel different because of the procedural generation using deterministic algorithms.
What the hell does that even mean?
I did read up a lot about that, where yes, there is unlimited planets. As you venture out further into the galaxy, they are generated as you go along. Wow, what the hell? This is crazy. Are we in a simulation? You're watching this from your phone or computer. What the hell? This was already recorded before, but you're watching it now. There is so much to do, and they've upgraded it recently because now you can do shipbuilding, which has so much detail to it. You can construct your own ship from what you salvage from other ships, but also from materials that you've bought. The different environments on each planet is welcoming as it doesn't feel the same. There are different weather conditions, different plants, animals, which keeps it fresh. And flying onto a planet with no loading screens is quite good. You hear that? Certain someone? There's also combat in the game, even though that's not the heavy focus of this game. There's still combat. There are bounty missions in the game to attack other pirates that will earn you currency. You can build massive bases, and you'll have to acquire blueprints which you can buy, so make sure you get everything you need before you start building. You can be as creative as you want. I feel like this is a must play on the VR2, and yes, as I just said, every week we're going to be putting on a VR2 stream. It will either be a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, just because it's easier with L's. If I commit to one day on the weekend, it just means the Saturday's gone. So if I just choose between Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it means that we're going to actually be a bit more consistent. I know I didn't mention Minecraft only because it is so popular, which I'm mentioning it now in case you say, how the hell did you not mention Minecraft? I just don't want to play it only because it's been out for so long. So many people play that game. And even though you can play the PS4 version, there still hasn't been a PS5 upgrade, even though it's coming real soon. It's just crazy how long it's taken for something as big as Minecraft to come onto PS5, but it's coming. But what do you think about the survival games I've mentioned? Are there any I've missed out? Probably have. That's why you guys are there. Don't attack me and try and cancel me in the comments. Drop your thoughts in the comments and let me know. Well, let's take a look at the comment of the day from my previous video. I finally completed Red Dead 2. Shout out to Alan, top 5 greatest games ever. I say it got robbed for Game of the Year. Thank you for the comment, bro. And I didn't actually realize it didn't get Game of the Year. Realized that God of War 2018 got Game of the Year, which I'm not complaining, but a lot of people did say online is that even though it came out near the end of the year, it just means that there's not a lot of time for people to really dive into it. I'm not sure, even though Ghost of Tsushima came out end of the year and that should have won Game of the Year. So there's no doubt that that should have won Game of the Year. That is an unbelievable game. We have a retro stream on a Monday and we are finally starting Red Dead Redemption 1, which I have never played. So I'm very, very intrigued. Well, after this video comes out, I would have already played it. It's crazy. Wow.